Welcome back to the Rich Pod, which is available on all major podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on every platform at the Rich Pod and share to help us grow.
All right. Welcome. Rich Pod, Father and Son, episode 9, right on time. Here we go.
Episode 9, right on time. You got to come up with a clever saying for every episode now, like that.
Not really. It could just be,
Oh.
throw in sometimes. Sometimes it's not, but of course, if needed, it's there. It's natural.
I was just throwing out an idea there, but we back, episode 9, episode 8. Listen to that before you listen to this. Episode 8 is all football for all my football people. We on episode 9, gonna hit the NBA up. NBA. I feel like I'm more of an NBA fan than an NFL fan. As you know, our team, the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, we haven't talked to them since we got Dame. In the last episode, we were talking about getting Dame, but we didn't think it would actually happen, which is crazy. So
That
we
was
haven't
the
talked.
episode with you and Lante was saying it, and I was saying that they shouldn't give up Drew.
Which they did.
Which they did.
Lante is my brother. So just to give people context, just threw out a name.
He was in there. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. I guess they would have figured it out at some point that I was talking about another person. But
hey, a lot has happened since then. Well, let's dive into it. Drew, what was your reaction? Give me Mr. Richardson's reaction when he found out his guy Drew Holiday was on the move.
I was upset. Naturally, I'm still upset. I think it took a part of the team with him. I mean, it was a perfect fit. I mean, yeah, he's in Boston, they're killing, but Drew Holiday was a Milwaukee Buck. Still is, in my opinion.
Nah, he's a Celtic now.
He was 100%. A Milwaukee Buck, community player on the court, gave it his all. He shouldn't have been traded.
So looking back, ignoring everything that went on this year, you wouldn't trade Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard?
Ignoring what? The results so far?
We're not even talking about what's been going on yet. Just straight up, you wouldn't trade Drew Holiday for Dame Dollar?
No.
Dang, we should have got we should have got Lante on this. You telling me
we can revisit it. We can revisit it. It's no problem. Here's my take. It's done deal. It's move on players. I'm not mad at the Dame Lillard trade. I mean, just like even if we want to get into it, the facts, the Bucks haven't been what people expected. But if he showed you anything All-Star weekend, if he can bring that to the Bucks, then I mean,
Yeah, we at the half point of the season. So what
beyond
do you think
half
about
point? So 28 games left.
So. Well, the All-Star break always considers the half point, but we at the second half of the season. What has been your thoughts so far? Not just the Bucks, just a general NBA.
NBA, I mean,
weird season. I think so.
Yeah, it's weird in a sense that I just think it's gonna. I think the second half or these last games are gonna be really telling. I can kind of dive into just the Bucks, for instance. I think it's been a lot of change from. You got to figure. I was reading something recently where it didn't even hit me, but it literally has been 4 different coaches. They had an ownership change. They had the big trade that, we got to remember, it was Drew, but it was, Grayson Allen too. And who else? What I'm missing?
Players wise, that's it. Drew and Grayson Allen.
Well,
that left.
Carter.
Yeah.
Wesley Matthews, so yeah, Wesley Matthews when he played was a great defensive help on, especially them guards would be hurting us now. So you can't just disregard Wesley.
Give me Damian Lillard any day of the week. Every day of the week.
Okay, I'm not mad at the trade. I mean, I think it's going to pan out. I think it's been so much change. I mean, like they always say, winning masks a lot of stuff. So them winning, and having that record really masks a lot. Like, they won 31 games. They was what, 31-10 at one point. So they won, 31, you know, they won 31 out of 41 games. So that's gonna mask a lot of stuff. But when losing starts happening, that's when it starts hitting the fan. So, you went from Bud to Griffin to Purdy, not Prente for a few games. Now you
Prunty.
got Doc. Okay, Prunte.
You
Okay,
just
one
completely
second.
ignored my question. You just went right to the Bucks. This ain't a
What
Bucks episode. This is an NBA episode.
this guy right here. So
I
the
mean, I
NBA
asked
as
you
a
about
whole,
the
the
NBA.
National Basketball Association as a whole has been a different season. I
We're
mean,
gonna have
every
to
season
record another episode for the Bucks. I'm trying to keep this in general, the NBA.
I can talk if it's basketball related. So the NBA as a
Oh,
whole has been,
jeez.
it's been different. I mean, I think a lot of teams are kind of surprising per se,
Thunder.
but yeah,
You
the
think the Thunder are
Thunders.
legit or are they
I
just
mean,
one
I
of the
think they
regulars?
legit. With Shea, I mean, I don't see them really doing nothing in the playoffs,
Why?
but because they're not, they're still young, they're still, learning. Playoffs and regular season, as we know, and any true basketball fan, you
Am I not a true
should know.
basketball fan?
I'm just saying that the playoffs become a whole different ball game. I mean, it's still the game of basketball, defense and making baskets, but everything slows down. So all these teams that like to run, that like to just jack up threes, which is the total NBA now, a lot of that stuff slows down when it's, set offense and set defense. And, it's not so much you see in the same team for like anywhere from 5 to 7 games and all that type of stuff. So it's a total different thing. And so that's going to catch teams like Thunder that's young that, might not be so skilled in finding that little groove or whatever. So they might surprise, plenty have, but yeah, and you look at the Western Conference. I mean, you got Denver, you got the Clippers, you got
Minnesota.
Minnesota. That's another one. Minnesota ain't gonna do much
They're
when
the
it
one
comes to the
seed.
playoffs. Minnesota's not going to do much when it comes to the playoff. They might, I mean, if I'm wrong, just like the football episode, I could be slightly off. I'm not going to say wrong. I could be slightly off, but I don't know. What's your thoughts there? Since
I think the West is obviously the superior conference. There's a lot more
I
talented.
disagree.
The East is top heavy. It's just Boston, Milwaukee, Philly. Outside of that, and well, Cleveland. I mean, but like you don't fear Cleveland around the playoffs, you know? Like I think the East are top heavy. So one of the top three teams are gonna come out. You're not fearing the Pacers or let me look. You're not fearing the Pacers, the Heat, if they pull off their voodoo magic again that they did last year. The Knicks, at least as a Bucks fan, the Knicks don't really worry me, but they've been playing well. And then like the Magic, like come on, the East is a top heavy conference. Is
The
one of
West
the
is too.
the West is deeper. The West 7 seed is the Mavericks right now. I'm taking the Mavericks over the Cavs, over the Knicks, and they're the 7 seed. The
They
Suns
don't
are the
play no
fifth seed.
defense. They don't.
Yeah, but if
Neither one of
Luca
them two you named just play defense at all.
if Luca can put up 50 a game, it don't matter if he can play defense or not.
I think we've seen that your number one seed, Cat Williams, put up what 67, 65 points in a
Cat
loss.
Williams.
Yeah, I mean Carl Anthony Towns.
Where did when did Cat Williams get in?
Oh, I forgot about my fault. Carl Anthony Towns, big cat. That's why I was saying the big cat put up what 65 points and they lost.
Yeah.
You talking about the Suns? Devin Booker put up what 73 and they lost.
But Luca put up 70 something and they won. That's what we were
Okay,
talking
that's
about.
one game. You think Luca finna put up 75 points, 70, whatever he had in a 7-game
I'm
playoff
not saying
series?
that, but I think the West lower seeds are significantly better than the East lower seeds. Like the Lakers
So
and
you telling me?
Warriors are what 9 and 10. They got all time greats on that team, so you can't sleep on that team no matter what, because you know they can cut it on no matter what. But
Right,
we,
right. So that's what I'm saying. Look at the Lakers of last year, about this time, right after a trade deadline. They were garbage. They picked it up. So to me, the season really, just like Boston, is just running through teams now. And they're the clear favorite. They're playing good, they're dominating. But we all know there's a few question marks. Their depth, let's
Boston
let's
has
just be
been they've been running people, but you can see the flaws on the team. The team is very beatable. They've been running through
Porzingis.
people, but yeah,
Porzingis, we just hate to say it, it'd be good. I don't wish it on nobody, but we know he's one jump away from missing 20 games.
yeah.
So you got okay, you got the Browns, you got Tatum, you got that strong, starting five, but then after that, where you at?
Horford, does Horford start?
No, he can't because Porzingis.
White, oh yeah, White, Holiday, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis,
Yeah.
Horford, Hauser. Yeah, that bench sucks.
Pritchard, Pritchard
Oh,
and Luke
Pritchard.
Cornett. Luke Cornett.
And who they just trade for?
Um,
Yeah, not Gafford.
Tillman from
Yeah.
Memphis,
They're similar
which
players.
he'll,
Well,
he'll
nah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, you can't knock them. They're running through team, but like I said, let's just take our team for example. The Bucks, all them years, number one seed, winning 19 in a row and all that. But playoffs as a whole, you catch that. It's just like football. You catch that team hot towards the end. Look what Miami did. Look what the Lakers did.
Yeah.
And so I think the season to me haven't really started yet. You got a lot of teams that, made trades. Like, okay, you mentioned Dallas. I kind of forgot. Not PJ Washington, but Gafford is going to be huge for them
He
because
been
that's what
killing.
they was missing. Huh?
He been killing for
Yeah,
him.
that's what I'm saying. So he's going to be huge for them. What's some other trades that was done? That's
This is a
might be of
relatively
impact.
weak trade deadline. The Bucks
Yeah, it
got
wasn't
Pat
a
Bev.
which I like because even Pat ain't gonna give you 20 and 8 assists or nothing like that, but he gonna give you that energy, he gonna give you that dog, and it's kind of like hopefully it can catapult like when PJ Tucker came.
Yeah. Trying to think. I'm drawing a blank on the trades. It was a fairly a lot of trades were happening was just like the Knicks got Bogdanovich and Burks, two
I
scores.
really, yeah,
Bogdanovich is
and that's
nice. I think people sleep on Bog. He's nice. He can get you
for
20.
scoring,
Yeah.
yeah, for scoring. But what else?
But the Knicks are a good defensive team though, no matter what, because of
Right.
Thibodeau.
Yeah, so
And they're
they're good
missing
defense.
Randall, and they've been on a little roll, or at least they were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a lot of teams. I think from it's to me, like of course we got Boston, the West, I think at one time it was a four-way tie for
Yeah.
first place with all those. So, we got it. And let's just look at Cleveland. Cleveland did a lot of their damage without Garland and Mobley, and they still rolling. But we talking about Cleveland, you know. I
Come
think what
playoff
it
time,
gives
who do you fear? I guess
right.
Mitchell. But I'm not worried about Jared Allen dropping 20 on me every game or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's going to be Mitchell, but like I said, one thing is if these teams start to lock down and they start to, focus on defense, because if they start having that old school mentality where it's like, okay, we're gonna let Jordan get his, but let's stop everybody else. And so we know Mitchell gonna get his and Tatum gonna get his or Brown and these different ones, just like when they doing the Bucks. Okay, is we're gonna let Dame shoot us out, or we're gonna let Giannis drive down. We're gonna take away one or the other, but we're not gonna have both. We're gonna make sure none of the others get. So a lot of these teams, second and third options, I think, are really going to be detrimental to them moving forward.
I think a lot of it comes in too in the playoffs. You get to focus on that one team rather than having
That's
to
what I'm
worry
saying.
about, oh, we got to travel and then we're playing this team. I think that's why teams like the Heat become so good because Spoelstra is like a good coach that can make great adjustments in a single series. You can look like that, but
I
you
mean,
know,
he can. I can't
yeah,
take that away. You was about to give the whole Spoelstra for president
no,
spiel that you give,
you can
but
like
yeah,
Spoelstra. Yeah, I just think he's a
uh,
good coach, but I don't like Spoelstra. I think he's a good coach though.
oh, he is. I mean,
Mm.
he's proven that. But you just made a valid point that, I think a lot of people don't realize is that you're right. You could focus on that. So your whole game plan is for that team instead of we got 3 games in 4 nights and it's 3 different teams. So yeah, that makes a huge difference. That's why I said your Cleveland's, because I can't even put Dallas because Dallas has been there. They've been in playoffs, but Cleveland, Minnesota, but Minnesota got some vets like Conley, Gobert. Um, has Slow Mo been in any playoffs? I don't know,
He was with the
but
well, I don't think he was with the Spurs when they were winning and stuff.
see, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of that stuff, it's got
He
to
might
go. I
have
mean,
been.
you got the Clippers. Um, look how they started. That's why I'm not tripping a lot of times when teams say, "Oh, look," and like all the hoopla about Doc Rivers and them stuff. Remember how people were shredding the Clippers? What they went lose the first 6 or 7 games when they traded for Harden,
Yeah, they were bad, and now they're the
and
three
then
seed.
went on the run. So it all just constitutes get when you make changes mid-season, especially major changes. You start. You have to get. I don't care how good you are. You have to get that cohesion. You have to work together. It's just like with the Bucks. I mean, they're 50 some games in, but you have two superstars that was superstars in their own right trying to mesh. And it's different. When you have that. So I think a lot. To sum it up, it's a lot. It's going to be determined in these last. I won't even say February. I would say the end of March and come April. We're gonna really see where teams are standing.
Do the what teams in what teams out of the top teams in the East and West are actually contenders? What teams are the real contenders? Real contenders of the NBA.
For the East, I would say Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, and I am gonna skip down, and I'm gonna say Miami. Um, I'm gonna throw Miami in there, just because
The
experience
Knicks.
and
You're not believing in the Knicks hype?
I would say the Knicks is how you do tiers. The Knicks is probably the next tier down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because like Indiana with that running and gunning and shooting, like I would give them another year or so. They might get in the playoffs. They might even surprise, but I don't see them like going on. And in the West, to me, you got to give Denver's been there. I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Golden State,
It's the
even
10
though
seed, Golden State.
I'm just gonna throw them in there. They're kind of the sleeper, but of course you gotta give the Timberwolves, you gotta give the
What
Clippers.
about
Uh,
Phoenix? Are you Phoenix legit? I think so, because you got three people that can put up 30 whenever they want, defense or not. Like, if they get going, you just genuinely can't stop them. There's literally nothing you can do about it.
right. Who did they get at the trade deadline? They picked up some defense.
Uh,
Who did Phoenix get? I know I'm not crazy. Phoenix.
Phoenix. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna look up their roster, but I know they got Thad Young, right? He's kind of
Okay.
old though.
Yeah, I'm talking about relevancy. I mean, Thad Young is a good bench, good locker guy. I mean, no, and get in, he could give you a quick, 6 and 6 or something. So that was a good pickup. But I thought they got somebody
Royce
else.
O'Neal. It
What
was Royce O'Neal.
Royce O'Neal? Okay, to me that makes a difference because of his defense.
Yeah.
So if you throw him in the starting lineup, or even playing significant minutes, I like that. So I think with those additions and
And
plus
Vogel.
kind of
Vogel's a defensive specialist coach. With that Lakers run 2020, they had one of the best defenses ever.
Ever?
Yeah, that was a very good defense.
But was it one of the best defenses ever?
Statistically, yes, I believe so.
Oh,
Even what?
I'm
Hey,
saying
I'm
if you
telling
say
you.
so.
See,
Okay,
like
all right.
the West, the 8 seed are the Kings, and I think the Kings are a very good team. So that's why
Right.
I'm saying the
I
West is
forgot
just
about that. Yeah, the
yeah.
West is. But I forgot about the Kings because they was the top up there for a while in the top 3 or 4. So okay, you do got the Kings, you got the Warriors, you got Phoenix, you got Dallas. So yeah,
Pelicans
I
and
will say,
Zion can stay healthy
oh,
finally.
Pelicans. I see all these teams you name, and I kind of that makes a difference because if you go there, so if you look at probably 70% of the West teams you could say are legitly. I mean, you take away the Spurs, you know what they about. They
Grizzlies,
feel
which the
you
Grizzlies, which are usually good, but they just been killed by
injuries.
injuries.
Look when Ja came back for them few games and they went on that run. So the Grizzlies you can count out now because of the injuries, but yeah, so the West is pretty stacked. I
Yeah.
forgot. The East is not lacking. I mean, we got the Pistons,
Why'd you bring the Pistons up?
Well, I'm going from bottom to top. So we do
Wizards,
got the
Hornets,
Pistons, Wizards, Hornets with some decent
Raptors,
teams, but the Raptors, which
trash.
I didn't expect that. So yeah, I think you're right. The West kind of got an upper hand right
Yeah.
now as far as completely going down. But
Yeah.
I think when it's all done and said, in the East, you're gonna either be Philly, Boston, or Milwaukee. Like
So
I
if you had
said,
to, let's just go. I'm gonna run through it. The playoffs, right? As the standings are today. So we got Boston versus the Magic. I'm guessing you taking Boston, obviously.
well, yeah, but
Oh yeah,
Magic.
yeah, they do play Boston really
They
good.
Boston they play Boston really good for some reason. Sometimes you have those matchups that you don't want. Like we didn't want the Bucks to have to face Miami.
Ain't nobody
When
scared of Miami.
I'm talking about last year.
I'm not saying I know when everybody was saying that, I
Oh,
was like, I'm
okay.
not worried about Miami, but it looks like I should have been
They're
worried.
surprised.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the Magic kind of has that squad that'll kind of you see in 7 games, you can see them maybe sneaking in 3, maybe 4. So I don't know. But of course, at the end of the day, we're gonna go Boston.
Let's not do that. Who are you? Two teams from each conference for the conference finals, and then we'll do the finals matchup.
I'm
Do the
still gonna go Bucks and Celtics for the
Bucks,
East.
Boston. I'll go Bucks, Boston too. Depending on Embiid. Well, Embiid doesn't show
It's
up in the playoffs
it's
at
gonna
all.
be, I believe, Bucks, Boston, unless somebody like Cleveland or New York come in and just really surprise. But I really think it's gonna be Bucks and Boston when it's all done and said.
What's your West predictions?
Ooh, dang, that's tough. I'm thinking Denver because Denver is tough when healthy and all together. So man. I'm going to limb and say like Denver and the Clippers.
Denver, will this be the year the Clippers finally stay healthy? You think they can finally stay healthy, actually play
That
in the
see, that's
playoff?
going to be a big, if because Harden is usually healthy for the most part
But
until he
he's
start.
terrible in the playoffs, though.
That's
He's
that's that's another thing. That was I was gonna say it's
yeah.
if he gets over that hump, but yeah, that's kind of so I don't know. The West is tough because then you got Minnesota. You just can't disregard Minnesota. Like even though I said the youthfulness and that, but you got Gobert, you got Conley,
And Edwards,
you
one of the
got
best players in the league.
Edwards. That's what I'm saying. And then they got good players around that just like fit the system. So that's
They
kind
got
of
some good
tough.
defense too, minus Cat.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's
That's
big though.
and but look, Cat is kind of one of the players to me that get disrespected because he's big and he could shoot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Cat is
like Sam
nice. Cat is
Sam
nice.
Perkins when he was around. It's like, oh, he ain't playing, he ain't blocking shots, but he could shoot. He's a shooter. Cat just dropped 50 in an All-Star game. He's a scorer. he's just big and don't block shots and dunk all the time and do all that. But he gets disrespected a little bit, and I
There's
I,
a
I
reason
like
he's
it.
an
So
all-star.
that's why I just forgot about. So saying that, I have to say maybe Denver and Minnesota. Because Minnesota's been rolling, and like you said, they got a good mix of old and new. Like Chris, what's their coach name?
Finch.
Finch, he wasn't scared to play some of the younger guys, and which I think some teams hurt by not playing the younger guys, Bucks. And I just think that Minnesota is I like them. I don't know how I forgot about like Cat and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe Denver and Minnesota.
Yeah. I just like Ant Edwards. Hey, and we
Yeah.
seen it in Team USA this summer. Everybody knew he was going to take a next leap this year, which he did.
And look at him. Who can stop him? He's a team player and he plays. One thing I respect for him, and I know we won't have a debate about this, is Edwards is gonna show up even if he's hurt. Like he
Yeah.
said, people pay to see him play and all that, so he gonna show up. So I respect him for that.
All right. I want to ask you this. Before the draft and everything, we was talking about Wimby. And you know how you are. We got to wait and see. I don't believe the hype, none of that, none of that. Now he's on your fantasy team. So I know you see it. Now that you see it, what are your thoughts on Wimby's rookie year so
I
far?
love Wimby. No, but dude, he has helped me in fantasy, and I love it. But good all around player. I mean, once he puts a little, weight on him, if he can. But I mean, the man had a triple double with blocks. Come on now, that's David Robinson type. It's something about the San Antonio Spurs and big man. I mean, I don't know. This man shoot threes. He blocks shots.
He can
I mean,
dribble.
he could dribble. I seen one clip recently where Anthony Davis backed him down and dunked, but that's gonna happen,
That's what I say.
anybody regardless. And
Yeah.
Anthony Davis better be a little careful. And but
Wow.
my thing is Wimbayana is I will
What?
admit
What did you just say? Wimbanana?
Wimbayana.
Wama. Yama.
What?
It's an M.
What?
Wimbayama. It's Yama, not Yana. That's like somebody calling you Olin instead of Allen. It's like Olin.
So what is it? Wimbayama.
Yeah. That's what you.
Wimby.
Yeah. That's
Wimby. Okay, thank you. Wimby, San Antonio Spurs center. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. But I will admit that he has quieted my doubts.
Yeah.
I know it was a lot of hype. Your brother Alante was hyped
Everybody
on him
knew.
and all, and
Everybody knew.
everybody, and I was like, we'll see. But he has lived up to the hype. And the scary part is this is his rookie year. So the fact that he's going to get better is scary for the league.
So
Because he don't have no fear. Oh, I'm sorry, but he don't have no fear.
Yeah.
If you dunk on him, he's going to dunk on you back. You try to back him down, and that's what I like. Like some people come in the league, they be, timid and all that. I like the dude. I think he's gonna be good. Like I said, if he could put on a little weight, he might not put on much. Them frames. Look at Durant. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I like him as a player. I do.
Yeah. All right. So final predictions for the finals. You said you had Boston and the Bucks. Take your bias out. No bias, no Bucks bias. Yeah, Boston and the Bucks, and then I had Boston and the Bucks. For the West, I'm gonna go. I just don't trust the Clippers staying healthy with that team. So I'm gonna go the Nuggets. I'm not that confident in the Nuggets, if I'm being honest. I'm not. I'm gonna
I
go.
am.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Wolves. Wolves and Clippers. Someone's gonna put the Nuggets out. The Nuggets aren't going back to back. Someone's putting the Nuggets out this year.
Ooh. Woo.
They're a great
Okay.
team, but they can be beaten. The West is too talented. I'm gonna go
Ooh.
Timberwolves, Clippers, and then we get the T Wolves, Nah, the NBA is not gonna put the T Wolves in yet. Give me Clippers. Give me Clippers, Boston. I mean, not Boston. Clippers, Bucks, Bucks and 6. Of course. I think the NBA has been waiting for a Clippers Bucks series. It should have happened in 2020 or a Bucks LA series. It should have been either the Lakers or Clippers in 2020 before the world shut down and then the Heat pulled off their voodoo magic again. So I'm gonna
So
go
so
Bucks Clippers.
Bucks Clippers. Okay, okay. I'm gonna take out my bias only because I am a Bucks fan, but I see the potential there. And with Boston, I see the dominance now, but the losses that they have had have shown their weaknesses. And I think they haven't really hit that bump yet where the Bucks have hit their bump. So now they've hit all this where
Yeah,
they
they
can
didn't
now
face
just
all the
go.
adversity they could face.
Yeah,
So
they can face so they can go. Boston ain't hit none. Boston ain't had no 2, 3 game losing streak. Boston ain't have so, and I know they're talented. I know they've been waiting. They've been to the finals, but I just think that it's the Bucks year. And I seen something that was funny that Dame said it when he won the All Star. He said last time a Bucks won an All Star, we won a championship. So
yeah.
had All Star. So let's keep that going. So I don't know though, but I don't see Denver being that easily pushed off. So mine is definitely going to say the Bucks and Celtics, but I'm going to stick with the Wolves and Nuggets for the West. And I think I'm going to say the Nuggets are going to come out top. So I'm
I
looking.
agree. I can say that, but I don't like how everybody just like, oh, the Nuggets, Nuggets, Nuggets. The Nuggets can be beat.
Mm-mm.
They can be
They
beat.
can.
Yeah.
Every team
Well,
this year,
true. Yeah.
we ain't talking about the Warriors of what, 16, 17, or the Bulls of 96 when they won all the games. I think this is wide open, even though, like I said, I'm going to say like the games start back today. So I'm going to say like, let's look at these next few weeks. Like if we revisit this in like 2 weeks or so, or like mid-March or so, I think we're going to have a better picture, but we never know. But for now, I'm going to say probably to me, I would say the Bucks and Nuggets, or I mean, I know I'm trying to play the fence here, but I could see the Bucks and the Timberwolves. I could see that Midwest, clash too,
NBA
because
wouldn't let that happen. Not enough money.
well, well, yeah, I get you, but the NBA, sometimes they can't stop all these FanDuel prize picks and all that. You got to do some
Don't
awful
shout out
hard.
prize picks.
I ain't shouting out none of
Shut
them. I'm
up,
just
prize
saying
picks.
I ain't shouting out none of them. I'm just
Unless
saying
they want to sponsor us, of course.
all the betting they allow. Oh, remember that? Come on there, do that.
Yeah. But
Sponsor it. So
so you
yeah,
got
but
Bucks. I can see the Bucks getting put out in the first round. I can see them winning the championship. They've been so up and down this year. But for your
right.
final
But
prediction,
that's the good thing is that it's
yeah,
getting out. My final prediction for the
championship.
NBA championship is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Denver Nuggets. And I see the Bucks taking it in, I could say 6, but possibly 7.
I would love to see that series. That'd be a great series.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have been last year, but I think that would be a great series because of how they play. I think with even though he's does his thing, but I think at least Brook Lopez can slow Jokic down,
Yeah, I feel
and
like he's and Gobert. It's only a few people with the body to like slow Jokic down. Bam.
right.
Well, Bam was getting
He's
worked in the finals. He too small. Well,
Yeah,
short.
he's too small. He's
Short.
too yeah, he's too short. I mean, you can't teach height.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you could teach. You could say, oh, he can guard 1 through 5. But come on now, you put 6. What's Drew? 6'5", 6'4",
6'4", I think. Yeah.
6'4" on Embiid. I mean, come on, how much is that gonna last? Yeah, he'll stop him a few times, but you can't teach height. I don't care how good you are. So even me playing a great defense, I was known for. If you put me on, me at 5'11", if you put me on somebody, oh, I don't
Wow.
see it as that being that funny. But if you
I
put me
didn't
on somebody, I could stop them for so long. But then, their height's gonna
I
get
didn't know
on
you
you.
was a defensive stopper. If you
Yeah,
had
I
to compare your
was.
game to somebody, who would you say?
They used to compare my game a lot to Charles Barkley because of how I rebound and put back
I
and
thought you was
stuff
gonna
like
say how
that.
you look. Yeah, I do look similar. I compare to myself, China, Eric Bledsoe.
Who?
Eric Bledsoe in China. That's my game. You ain't been seeing Eric Bledsoe in China?
No. What has he done?
Trash. That's what I mean.
Oh,
Oh,
so you
I
think
want to do
your
one. Huh? What?
you think your game trash?
Yeah, I've lost it. I'm not. I'm
Oh,
washed.
I would never admit that. Put me on the court. I don't know what you're talking about. At
Uh,
50, I'm putting up 10 and 12.
10 and 12. How many
Yeah.
minutes?
Probably about 30 minutes.
I respect that. All right, one
30.
last thing before we end the episode. Who's your MVP this year?
Ooh, tight, tough.
You got Shea. You got Joker, of course. Shea's number 2 in the
I
power
don't get
rankings.
that. You got Tatum.
I'm just telling you.
You,
Yeah,
I know,
Tatum,
but
Embiid before
Giannis
you get Embiid can't win it, and
yeah,
then Giannis. So it's really just Joker,
and
Giannis.
Luca.
I don't even think he's in the top 3. Well, top 4. He might be, but so we'll do Luca, Joker, Giannis, Shea. Gilgis
I think
Alexander.
Giannis, not being biased, I think Giannis because he does it on both ends. To me, most valuable player, you have to have, you can score, but and affect the game, but you got to do it on both ends. We know Joker. I mean, Shea is top in steals, and I see he's good defensively, but you got to be constant on both ends. And to me, I think after Giannis won the two, he's in it every year. But I think you called it one time. It's like media
Voters
something.
fatigue.
Yeah, voters fatigue. And I mean, let's just look at his numbers last year. Look at his number the year before. I mean, I think they just wanted new blood.
It's
And
crazy
so
because the years he won MVP, his years after that have been better. And he
that's what I'm
just
saying. So it's
yeah.
just like, the MVP in any sport, we got to give it to somebody else and do something different. But the fact that it was just all Embiid, yeah, I know he leads in scoring, but let's just be honest. To me, you have to play defense too. And I'm not talking about you could just block shots because you're tall in there.
Yeah.
You just have to be better. And I think Giannis does it every night, both ends, both nights. I mean, you're putting up 35, 18, 2 blocks, 6 assists, stuff like this where you getting everybody involved. I mean, you just got to be fair.
I'm of course picking Giannis too, but I know he's not gonna win it. They're probably gonna give it to Jokic again because the NBA, the media just hates Giannis for some reason. We're running a lot of time, so we need to end it soon. But as
Okay.
you can see, the media has been trying to kill the Bucks lately with everything that's going on. So the
With
media hates
everything.
Giannis, so he's not gonna
Small
win it.
market.
I hope they if he don't win it, I hope they give it to Shea instead of Joker. Joker doesn't deserve it. Well, yeah, he put up crazy numbers too, but he
Right.
hasn't
But he's
been
just
as good
doing
as his
that.
past 2
He
years.
don't he don't play defense. That's
Yeah,
that's the
Giannis just
thing
dropped
about
like
it.
40 on them, didn't it, when they played?
That's what I'm saying. So you have to do, but I take me, like he said, take it any day. I know we got to close Rich Potter, but like he said, any day, give him a championship over individual award.
Yeah.
So, all right, episode 8, 9,
9, right?
9.
Yeah.
We out. Yeah. Rich Pod, Joyce. See y'all. Keep God first.
All right, peace.